The book tour that I will be taking you on today is based on the novel Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance by Robert Pirsig. When we were asked to do this assignment, I realized that I didn't really know many novels that have had a trip taken place that is 8 or more places. So I decided to choose a novel that I read this year in my World of Ideas class. So, the book begins in Red River Valley, Minnesota, which is where the narrator and his family are from. The narrator and his son, Chris, who's about 10 years old, are taking a trip from Minnesota to San Francisco Bay in California. So it's going to be quite a long ride if they make it there. The second stop on the trip is Mobridge, South Dakota. In Mobridge, South Dakota, they are looking for a bridge in order to cross the Missouri River that you can see on the screen here. And they eventually do, and they continue on with their trip. The third destination is the little city of Baker, Montana. This is at near the beginning of where Montana and the Dakotas meet. It's kind of a little town that doesn't have much, and it's in the plains. So the author mentions that as they're riding on the motorcycle, it's starting to get really hot, upwards of 108 degrees on the road. So of course they need to stop and find something to drink. The pair make it all the way across Montana to Missoula, which is right outside the mountains, as seen in the picture below. This obviously took them a few days because all they did was really travel and stop to eat or stay the night. There wasn't much sightseeing other than that, which I found kind of boring. So from going all the way through Montana, they end up in Riggins, Idaho, which I thought was very interesting because the Riggins, Idaho is on the Salmon River, and it's where the Salmon River and the Little Salmon River diverge into their respective rivers. Also, it is in a canyon, which I thought was very, very pretty, and I'm sure was very pretty to drive through on a motorcycle because you don't have windows to look through, you are one with nature. After driving through Idaho and most of Oregon, which he explains is a lot of forest but also a lot of desert, they reach Crater Lake National Park, which I think is very beautiful, and the picture does it no justice. Here, they stretch their legs, they go for a walk, they contemplate where they're going next. Down the coastline, they drive, and then they reach Santa Rosa, California. They're almost to their destination when they get here, and they're realizing now that the rest of the trip was in small cities in states that don't have many people. And now there is a lot of traffic on the highways, and they're not used to that. So the narrator discusses that within the book. And the very last destination that they originally wanted to get to at the very beginning of the book is San Francisco Bay in California. This is where the book kind of has its last stand, where the narrator and his son decide whether or not they want to go back home. And there's kind of a little struggle between both characters, but eventually the narrator decides that it would be a good idea for the two of them to start heading back home. That was my book tour. Thank you for listening.